was armed to the teeth with a pitiful little Smith and Wesson 7 shooter, which carried a ball like a homeopathic pill, and it took the whole 7 to make a dose for an adult. But I thought it was grand. It appeared to me to be a dangerous weapon. It had only one fault. You could not hit anything with it. Samuel Clemens, better known as Mark Twain, from his book Roughing It. Welcome back. We're looking at another old Smith and Wesson revolver, this one being the original, what people call today the number 1, but what they called back in the day merely the 7 shooter. In case anyone needs any context on that name, there it is. 7 shots of 22 Smith and Wesson, what we would call today 22 short, what they initially called the number 1 cartridge. This was, as the name implies, the first production revolver produced by Smith and Wesson, entering production in 1857, going through 3 major iterations, and ending production at some point in the 1880s. Speculation, or people tend to agree that it was 1884. This is a 3rd issue revolver, so the first issue had a plow handle grip, and this radius here went up to the frame, so like the whole frame was kind of rounded, radius like that, and it had a smooth cylinder, so it did not have the flutes. Second issue maintained the plow handle grip. We went to these flats on the walls, and I believe during the second issue they went to fluted cylinders, so that seems to be a transitional thing. In the 3rd issue, they're all the bird's head grip, all have the flats, and all have fluted cylinders. Single action revolver, holding 7 shots of 22 short. You've got your German silver front sight there, not actually silver. This up here is your bolt. So on a modern revolver, the bullet is down here, but in these early Smith & Wessons, the bolt was on the top. You got your side plate, you have a spur trigger, single action hammer with, as you can see, it's designed to hit the rim, and a spur trigger. And then back here you got your bird's head grip. This rod up here, that's for ejecting your empty, or as they'd say in their literature, exploded cartridges. So you push up on these tabs, tilt your barrel up, it's a tip-up design. Flip it over, knock out your empties. Put new ones in, close it back up, and then you're back to shooting your 7 homeopathic pills. So when this gun was designed, even then, this was an anemic cartridge. This gun was designed for carry. This wasn't designed to be a quote fighting gun. But it didn't stop people. There were so many orders for these, in fact, that Smith & Wesson had a back order. Both Union and Confederate soldiers purchased these and carried these revolvers. Because, I mean, frankly, it was faster to reload than a black powder gun. It was new technology. And, you know what? Back then, like, medicine was advancing. But those wounds could still get infected. You can still hurt someone, you know. If you play the long game, you could kill someone with this. But yeah, I just think these are very neat, very interesting parts of Smith & Wesson's history. They would later go on to make the number 2, which was a larger 6-shot 32 rimfire revolver. And then they made what was called the number 1.5, or what we call today the number 1.5, which was a smaller version of the number 2, was 5-shot, shorter barrel, and all that, more of a, I guess if we were doing analogies here, I guess it would be kind of like the Glock 19 of that era. You know, big enough to, small enough to carry, big enough to fight. But, yeah, this is just a tiny gun. So, for comparison, here it is against the Lady Smith. We've discussed this gun on the channel prior. Very small gun, very dainty. Also a 7 shooter, but 22 Smith & Wesson, basically a different version of 22 long, not 22 long rifle. Do not shoot 22 long rifle through those. Continuing out, here it is compared to a K-frame, this one being chambered in 3220. And then just for giggles, a 500 Smith & Wesson. Going back to this gun though, I find everything that Samuel Clemens, perhaps better known as Mark Twain, wrote to be accurate. This gun certainly is, and it shoots very high. So this was me at the range, and in order to even get this in this area, I was aiming at or below the 4. it also doesn't help that I wouldn't exactly consider these great sights, not even by 1850, 1860 standards. I mean, I know I'm getting older and need to wear glasses, but those are very hard to see. But for the time, though, this must have been a massive jump in technology. Like, between this and the Henry rifle, just having cartridge firearms was a game changer, and I mean, explains why they've lasted since. Coming up on 170 years of production cartridge firearms. But yeah, this example we discussed, it's the third one from the serial numbers. I'm guessing this was made probably 1880-ish. Definitely have to be gentle with it when I shoot it, which is rare. I only shoot it with 22 CB short. Do not put regular 22 CB in it. That's already probably pushing enough with the CB shorts, but I figure that any pressure curve on that's going to be moderate enough that it shouldn't ruin the gun. But your mileage may vary. If you have one of these, shoot it with modern ammunition at your own risk. Me, I'm willing to risk it. But yeah, if you find one of these and you have the chance to pick it up and it's a reasonable price and in good shape, I'd say do it. I think they're neat little guns. Definitely a less sexy side of Smith and Wesson's history. It's stuck between the volcanics and the top brakes, and then obviously the hand ejectors. But these are just neat little guns. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Until next time.